Welcome to the first edition of Andiamo a Mangiare. Tonight, we're going to make one of the classic Italian dishes and a family favorite, enchiladas. Hold on a minute. Enchiladas are a form of manicotti, so we'll call these Mexican manicotti. So follow me. We are going to start with 1.5 cups of onion. And we're going to come over here and we're going to get this thing fired up. And we need a little oil. Where'd the oil go? Right here. Extra virgin olive oil. Much? A little bit. How much of this? 1.5 cups. Más o menos. While we get that cooking slowly, we got to finish chopping up these zucchini over here, because those got to cook with the onions, and the key here is just get these things cut in small pieces, because we're going to cook them till they're soft. So there's no magic to this, just chop them up and get them out of the way. And we want to cut up 3 of the small ones, so you quarter them like this, and then just get them all nice and chopped up in small pieces. Onions are cooking. We need a camera from up here. We don't have that. Can everybody see? And you notice right there, it's on high. Lots of heat. The faster this cooks, the faster you eat. A little bit of garlic salt. How much? A little bit. A little bit of fresh cracked pepper. If you don't have fresh, use what you got. You want to let this cook, put the lid on, let it steam, because the whole idea is get this nice and soft. This is a chicken. Uno pollo. In Italiano, un pollo, I think. You can boil a chicken and let it cook for 1.5 hours and then debone it, or you can go to Costco and be lazy like us and buy a chicken, or Albertsons or wherever you choose. So we got to debone this chicken. So enjoy your beer or your beverage while we debone the chicken, and we'll be right back. So we add a little bit of water in here. It was a little bit dry. If you're boiling your chicken, you can use chicken broth, because the idea here is get this nice and soft. So it's cooking nicely. I'm going to put the lid back on, let it steam a little longer. All right, so we're going to preheat the oven. Hannah, fire up the oven. 350, please. While she's doing that, I'm going to start getting the other ingredients ready. So what we have here is corn tortillas. These are Mission brand. Any kind of corn tortillas. You can use yellow corn or white corn. You want to take about 10 or so, stick them in a little bag like this. For those of you who don't like microwaving things in bags, figure out some other way of doing it. But you want to put them in because you got to get them soft. You can put them on the grill, but that's more work. And I'm hungry, so I snuck a few more because we need 12 total. So now 12 tortillas. We're going to steam them so they're soft so we can roll them. We're not going to steam it yet because Nicole over here is behind in preparing the chicken. So we'll be right back. Hang on. Welcome back. Thanks, Hannah, for the beer. Hold on. Ice cold beer. So let's see how our zucchini is doing. So come on over here and we'll just toss this around a little bit. It looks pretty good. What we're going to do is we're going to mash it down, so you know it's done when it easily mashes. And I know you're thinking, what the hell are we doing putting mushed zucchini in enchiladas, manicotti style? But I'll explain that later. So now that the zucchini, this is hot. Now that the zucchini is nice and cooked, you want to mash this stuff down. What this does is this adds moisture and health to what is otherwise an unhealthy meal typically. Enchiladas usually have lots of fat and grease. So this is adding a lot of vitamins and minerals and goodness, and a little bit of love too, to our enchiladas. So now that the zucchini is ready to go, we have our chicken that's been beautifully deboned by my lovely wife and daughter. So this is ready to go. So what we're going to do next is we're going to review the ingredients that we're going to be putting in here for everybody. First, we have chicken. We have the zucchini we've been cooking. We have some light sour cream from Trader Joe's. We have some frozen corn. You can use fresh corn if you like. We've got some Mexican cheese. And we have some chopped olives, Albertson's brand, of course. And we've got Las Palmas enchilada sauce, which is one of my favorites. Now they have a green sauce and a red sauce. This is the red sauce. Okay, I'm back. So I'm putting the zucchini puree mashed up stuff in here. Got that all in there. And then we're going to add our frozen corn. How much frozen corn? About a cup and a half or so. And I measure by my visual inspection here, so I might put a little more, a little less. I just kind of got to eyeball it. So that looks pretty good. So I'll say a cup and a half or a cup and a quarter or whatever. And you can add the proportions to your desires, but this is generally the idea here. We've got some chopped olives. Let me get a spoon. So this is a 4-ounce can, I'm going to say. How big is this? It's a small can. Put a tablespoon or two in there and let's just see what this looks like. Mix that in. Olives give it a nice flavor. All right. Now that we've got that in there, we're going to add an ingredient that's going to help keep moisture in the enchiladas so they'll be nice and juicy when they're done. And this is the sour cream. So there's a giant tablespoon, another giant tablespoon, and maybe a small tablespoon. So maybe 3 or so tablespoons. Heaping. And this, just as you can see, is adding a creamy texture to this stuff. And then the last ingredient that we're going to add in here is a couple of cups of Mexican cheese. And that looks like a lot, so I'm going to stop. Maybe that's probably a cup and a little more than a cup. And again, I do this by eyeball, so as far as the measurements, you know, how much you put of each ingredient isn't as important as putting the right ingredients. So what we'll probably do is use the rest of that cheese. This is probably a little bit over 2 cups in this bowl, so I'll use the rest to put on the top once we're finished stuffing them. All right, so next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put the enchilada sauce over here in the pan to warm it up. Try not to spill it on myself. And I'm going to heat this up for a couple of minutes just so it's a little bit warm, not too hot, because you got to dip the tortillas in there and you don't want to burn your fingers. So I'll be right back and we'll start rolling these things up.